Hello everyone. I hope you guys can see and hear me okay. This is Melissa Brown, and we are on day 5 of our emotional detox. And for me, it's Saturday morning, so I got y'all in my prayer closet because I got a house full of people. So as you guys kind of hop online, let me know that you can see and you can hear me because I'm not in my regular part of the house where I am accustomed and used to doing Facebook Lives. So let me know that you are here. I'm so excited about our day 5 together. I almost feel a little bit sad. Hey, V. Uh, hey, Kiana. Let me know that you guys can see and hear me. And awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I take it that the hearts mean yes, yes. Okay, great, great. I'm so excited about today. It's just been a really rich week. And I am just so glad I followed my intuition, followed the leading of the Spirit to really tackle this topic because it's a topic that I am personally still working through. And so sometimes we feel like we have to have mastered something totally and completely before we can share it with others because we don't want to, seem like we're not the expert. But from the feedback that I've been getting from all of you, I know that this is right on point. I know that I have some extra emotional weight that I am releasing. I've already released some, but I still have more to do. And I've been getting messages from many of you letting me know that, Melissa, I'm doing my work. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm releasing a lot of this residue that I've been carrying around. And so I really want to hear from you, even though we're only doing this for 5 days. My prayer is that we will all stay connected in community, and you'll hear more about that today because today is going to be all about support. But that you would be giving me updates, letting me know how your release is going, how your detox is going, because it is a process. I'm not expecting everyone to be totally perfect in 5 days, but at least now you have the tools. At least now, when different feelings and emotions come up, you know what it is that you really need to do. And so today, for day 5, it's all about you are supported and you are loved. One of the things that I have noticed, and you guys can let me know if you agree, I have really noticed that as women get older, it seems more and more challenging for us to maintain relationships, particularly relationships with other women. And so I just want you to think about who is your go-to at 3 a.m. in the morning. Do you have a go-to when you feel like life is crashing down and you need someone that you could pick up the phone at any time and you can say, hey sis, I need help. I'm in a bad situation, or you just need someone to listen. You need to be able to cry. You need to be able to vent. Who is that someone for you? My guess is that you are that someone for a lot of other people, but you don't have that someone for you. Let me know, am I right? Am I right? I have really noticed it, particularly with the kind of women who follow me, big-hearted women, women who are high achievers, women who tend to do a whole lot for other people, and you are everyone else's go-to, but you don't have a go-to. So I want you to just think about that and just let me know, for those of you that are signed on and on, do you have a go-to person? Just say yes or no. Do you have a go-to person that you could call at any time and you know that they would drop everything and be there for you? Do you have that? Let me know. So, like I said, okay, so far I'm not seeing a whole lot of yes. Not seeing a whole lot of yes. Okay. V, thank you. I'm glad you do, V. Glad you do, V. All right. Sonia, I think I saw Sonia on here. Let me know. Let me know. Do you have a go-to, or are you everyone else's go-to? And again, part of it, this is what I want you to explore, because for many of us, it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always, you weren't always in a position where you didn't have a lot of people. What I have noticed is that our circles get smaller, and they get smaller as time moves on, as life moves on, and as we get older. So whereas maybe in high school you had your group, and then maybe in college in your 20s you had another, a core little group of people. And then what I've noticed is there's something that happens between that 30 and 35, that somewhere between 35 and 45, either the circle becomes non-existent, or just everyone dwindles away. For it, particularly for those of you who are married. First, I don't know what it is. Well, even though I can guess what it is, because sometimes I think we can get so involved and so overindulged in the marriage, in raising children, that we neglect, again, those parts of ourselves, those other relationships that feed into us. And then we can look up in 10 years and recognize that they're not there. Or if you are a person who has always given more than you have received, what you will find is if you are now going to give a whole lot more in your relationship and you're giving everything to your kids, you don't have the capacity to now give everything to a friendship. There's only one of you to go along. And so I want you again to think about, why is it that you don't have the support that you need? What has happened between the 20s and the 40s that now the circle is so small? And for many of us, since this is Emotional Detox Week, we have been wounded in our female relationships, and rather than working through those painful issues, rather than having difficult conversations that sometimes we don't want to have, what we did instead was build a wall. But let me tell you today that your wall is not protecting you, but it is holding you hostage. That many of us, we have built a wall around ourselves because we feel like, I got to support myself, I got to protect myself, I got to do this myself. Remember the language we've been using all week. It's all on me. And literally, for those of us that, again, we've been working through trying to release those few extra pounds, or sometimes it's a lot of extra pounds, I want you to really examine, is the extra really about the food, or is it really about, I need to protect myself? And sometimes when I build a wall around myself, an actual physical wall, it's really to keep people at bay. Sometimes my attitude is not because I'm frustrated or not because I'm angry, but it's really to keep people at a level. And the reason why we want to keep those people at that level is because we don't want them to get close to the wound. Because our fear is that if I let you closer, then you will wound me again. You will re-wound me. But again, what I want to submit to you today is that the walls that we carry, the walls that we are living in, that is what is re-wounding you. So the fact that we are moving through life knowing that we have a need, knowing that we need support, knowing that we need somebody that we can pick up the phone at 3 a.m. Instead, it becomes a wound upon our hearts once again when things are falling down, when things are breaking down, and you begin to look in your contacts in your cell phone and there's nobody you want to call. So I want you to just, again, process that, and I want you to think about, what is the wall that you have built to keep yourself locked away? You think it's to keep people away, but really it's to keep you away. That's what it is. Now, the thing that Marianne Williamson talks about. And again, I've been making reference to her book all week long. So if it's one that you want to, it's definitely one you want to get, particularly if you are working to release some of that the extra weight. And yesterday we talked about the notion of desire. The day before that, we were talking about this whole notion of just, letting yourself be happy, letting yourself be great and not hiding yourself. There is a woman on the inside of you that needs to be reconciled with the woman who you have been keeping at bay. And she says it like this. And I love her language because it is so imaginative. It makes you envision. And she refers to there is not thin me, and then there's thin me. And she says the purpose of this lesson is to support you in reconciling your relationship with the not thin you. She is not your enemy. She is an unintegrated part of yourself. So I want you to just even think about that. And I want you to think about the parts of yourself that you have kept from other people, that you have even kept from yourself. And if we can go there, that you have even kept from God. We're still talking about support. We're still talking about love. So there is a part of yourself that you don't even let come forward. You don't even let. And the wall, the extra that we carry becomes our way of saying, no, girl, you can't come out. You can't come out to play. You can't trust people. You can't share that. When the strength, the power is in your voice. The strength, the power is in the integration. Like I said, I personally, I felt like, oh, maybe Melissa needed to master this a little more before I even shared it. But you see all of the positive feedback that we have been receiving all week long, all kinds of messages, because I'm still in process. And so, again, I think we have sold ourselves this lie that says we have to be perfect before you can let your full self be seen, before you can bring your full self forward. And until that point, I'm keeping myself protected. I'm keeping myself at bay. I'm keeping myself kind of on lock. And so, again, part of what we've been doing this week is making space for miracles. And so while you have been protecting yourself, you've been protecting yourself in all of your relationships, you have not been bringing your full self forward. You have been denying yourself the support and the love. We've talked about this whole notion of what happens when people even come to you and say, what do you need? Many of us, we don't even know how to answer that question because we don't know what we need. We're not used to anyone asking us, what do we need and what do we want? Because we feel like, if we can again tell the truth about it, we are living from the past experience of the last time I shared my need with you, I owed you. Y'all, I know you can relate to that. And for women like us, we don't want to owe anybody. So if I have to owe you for you to be there for me, then it's easier for me to be there for myself. But again, you don't have the capacity for the space that God is taking you to. You don't have the capacity anymore to keep on being the one to be there for you. And you're still being there for everyone else. And again, what you have been through in the past is not where you are right now. And so if you have asked, we talked about desire. If you have asked for more balanced relationships, if you have asked for iron to sharpen iron, for people to come into your life, I want you to just think about how you're blocking it. Are you even letting it in? So when people call you and say, girl, we should get together. Girl, we should connect. What are the ways that you say, and then you backpedal? What are the ways that you ignore people's calls because you know you don't really want to let people in? What are the ways when people come to you and say, I just had you on my mind and I just wanted to spend time with you. Is everything okay? And you tell that same old lie that you've been telling half your life, everything is fine, when you know it's not fine. One of the things that I have learned in my community, because I have people like V who's on here and so many others who it seemed like they sign up for everything I do. They are constantly at my retreats. They're constantly at different things. And it dawned on me when I was in the last retreat we had was Costa Rica. And I looked, and just kind of, God was really just speaking and moving with all the women there. And I was looking at how much they connected. Many of them didn't even know each other. But within 24 hours, you would have thought they were all best friends. And they were all so much alike. And women were making comments like, oh my gosh, she's just like me. Just like many of you on here. Oh my God, I felt the same thing. Oh my God, I thought I was the only one. And what God shared with me is that people are not signing up necessarily for me. People are signing up for community. People are signing up so that they can be a part of something where they can be seen and they can be heard. And so I want you to ask yourself, because again, this is part of your detox. When was the last time you were seen and you were heard? When was the last time you let yourself be in a sacred space where, again, nobody was interrupting you? Nobody was demanding anything of you. People just let you be the real you. But again, that woman can't show up if we are showing up protecting ourselves from being wounded. Because again, the protection also blocks the love from coming in. Okay? And as I shared with you yesterday, there is a demand that the woman within you, the woman that you know you are, is putting on the woman that you have let yourself become. There is a demand that the woman within you, the real you, is putting on the woman you let yourself become. And so this weekend, since it's Friday for most of you, this weekend, as you are sitting with yourself, I really want you to give some thought to who you have let yourself become. I want you to give some thought to what has happened to your support circle. Give some thought to the ways that you have blocked the love from coming in, that you have asked for it, but you have kind of built up this force field that anytime people want to love you, anytime people want to bless you, you find a way to keep them at bay. What is it that you're really afraid of? What is it, that you are really trying to protect yourself from? Are you still living out old wounds from when you had girlfriends in college, when you know it's been more than 25 years since you were in college? But yet we are still living out this thing, and what you are doing is blocking yourself from all the possibilities that could come from a powerful community, from a powerful support system. You are a relational being. And for many of us, again, we are getting our needs met in other ways. That's what it means when people have a need to be needed. But at the same time, that may feed you temporarily, that need to be needed to be there for other people. That's our way of having that human connection. But where are other people when you need them? Where is that community? Can you be with people where you are not the teacher? And one of your assignments for this weekend as well, I want you to just make a list of your closest friends. And even with me, I was thinking about this. I was like, maybe I don't have as many friends. I'm not talking about people you know, because a lot of us, you got over almost 2,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram. I'm talking about friends. I'm not talking about Facebook friends. I'm talking about real friends. I'm talking about people who actually know you. I'm talking about people you can pick up the phone, not text, not instant message, but you can say, hey, how's your life? How's it going? Let's make a lunch date, and it actually happens. Okay? Who do you actually have in your life like that can pour into you, that when you leave their presence, you don't feel drained, but you feel ignited? If you don't have that in your life, there is going to be such an emotional drain on you that, again, a detox, you're going to need more than a detox. because there has to be something that is poured in. And so even though we have done all this work all week long, we have surrendered, we have felt the feelings, we have, been clear about who we are and our greatness, we've tapped into our desire. What is that if you don't have anybody to share it with? What is that if you have to keep all of this? If you're like, think about the week that you have had. Who did you have to even pick up the phone and say, girl, let me tell you, I've been working through this detox thing. I've been doing this. This is what I realized about myself, without feeling like you got to be protected and you got to be guarded. And so again, the principle of miracles still applies. I want you to make your request. When you make your list of friends and it's shorter than you think, or you end up with a big fat goose egg, make your request. Say, God, send me a friend. Send me a 3 a.m. somebody that I can call, someone who can pour into me, someone who can support me, where it's not just me supporting them, but who send people into my life that can build me up. And the relationship is balanced. And then expect to receive it. And then prepare yourself. So what does that look like let's just make it plain. That means that when people come up to you and they're friendly to you, that you're not like, I don't know you. I don't talk to people I don't know. That you make yourself open, that you are available, that you are friendly, that you have an open heart and spirit, because you're expecting God to send some powerful women into your life. And remember what I said yesterday, you don't get to decide the who. You don't even get to decide the how. You just get to make your request and say, I'm available. Because that is what is needed. For the space that God is growing you in, you need to be in fertile ground. You cannot be the nutrients for everybody and not have any nutrients planted in you. You cannot be everybody's water, everybody's sunlight while you sit up and wither. And so I want you to really consider what is pouring into you. What do you have that is pouring into you? And I'm talking about human contact, because again, I know y'all are into personal growth and development. So I'm not talking about another book. I'm not talking about another podcast. I'm not talking about things that you do solo. I'm talking about human contact, where a sister can touch you, where somebody can say, girl, I'm thinking about you, where I'm talking about somebody being able to say, you were on my mind and I just wanted to call and make sure you were okay. Do you have that in your life? And if not, where have you been so wounded that you said, nope, I don't need that anymore? It is always interesting to me when I connect with women who say, I don't get along with women. Because what that means, what you're really saying is, I don't get along with myself. Because you are a woman. And so again, there is a part of you that you've been holding back. There's a part of you that you've been keeping separate and apart in your relationships. And it may be because of a past circumstance. It may be because of wounding. But this situation, this space that you're in right now is not the same as where you have been. And so I want to challenge you to take a risk. I want to challenge you to open yourself up to love. I want to challenge you. And again, it's not about the people. It's about God working through people. So your hope isn't in them. I said that already. So whether we're talking about marriage, whether you're talking about your friendships, whatever it is that engages in the human connection, your hope ultimately is in God, and God just uses the people. Our job is to believe and expect the miraculous. And so this last layer is so important. I know it may seem like, oh, Melissa, I don't really need that. I just want to do my own inner work. I just want to be to myself. But after you've done your work, after you have excavated all of your old ideas, again, you got to stay connected to like-minded people, because if not, then your private committee will convene and you will start speaking foolishness back to yourself all over again. And before you know it, you will be right back in the weeds. You will be right back in negative thinking. You will be right back into the place where you don't believe in yourself. So you need people in your space that when you have a divine idea, they say, girl, you go for it. I'm there with you. Do you need me to pray with you? I'm ready. I've done that before. So again, that's your assignment. Like I said, this is our last day, even though I'm probably going to do a follow-up on Monday, because again, people have been sending me some really great email questions. I've been reading your comments on the live. The average live seems to have about 80 comments. So, I mean, that's a lot of comments, and I want to give you guys even more. Like I said, so I want to give you the weekend. If you didn't watch day 1, 2, 3, 4, you can binge watch. I had one sister say, I listened to day 1 like 3 times. Do whatever you got to do to get it in your spirit, because this is your opportunity. You cannot fly with all the heavy weight that is sitting on you. You will not be able to spread your wings if the weights are weighing you down. And so you owe it to the woman within yourself who is making those demands on you, who is saying, it is my time to emerge. It is my time to come out. It is my time to be who I know I need to be. But I got to get rid of the extra. I got to get rid of a mindset that's been holding me back, that you cannot stay where you have been and go where you are being called to go. It is time for you to do it differently. It is time for you to take a risk. It's time for you to bet on yourself. It's time for you to believe God. So, what are your questions? Tell me your feedback, any of your takeaways, and whether you're listening to the replay on this, because I know it's Friday night. Let me know, what are your biggest takeaways? What is it? What are the areas that you know God is really kind of purging you in? It may be in the surrender space. Some of you may still be on day 1, like one of the sisters. You may still be in the space of feeling the feelings and letting yourself process. I've had a number of people say, Melissa, I don't do feelings. I don't do crying. But one sister emailed me and she said, you know what? For the first time, I cried, I wept, and I don't do that. And she said the next day she felt so free. So freedom is available to you. Everything that you desire is available to you. The key is you, and whether or not you are willing to unlock what's inside of you. Or are you going to stay behind your wall, keeping everyone and everything at bay, keeping yourself a hostage from the life that belongs to you? Those are your choices. And I've told you already that a woman who makes a decision is as good as done. So when you make the decision, count it done. So I'm going to be reading your comments because I can't read vertically. But V, thank you. Thank you. Yes, hiding your light. Awesome. Yeah, I know that's true for a lot of people, trying to minimize. You do not do the world a favor trying to minimize or dim your light because you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. And I saw one quote and I said, oh, that is so genius. So we don't need to dim our light. Other people just need to wear shades. If my light bothers you, then tell them to put on some shades because I'm going to shine brightly. Okay? Yes, yes. Rose says she has a very small circle. It doesn't have to be a big circle. Probably it needs to be a small circle because we can hide in the big circle. So I'm not talking about us having 1 million friends. But then when it's really time for you to call somebody, you don't know who to call because all of them are kind of just periphery friends. They're all kind of, people I know, but I don't know. You know how we do. Let me see. Freedom. Yes. Toxic relationships. Got to put balance in that. What does Alethea say? Yes. Hiding your light and surrendering. Surrendering. Your success is based on the level of your surrender. Always. And so it seems very counterintuitive. It's very counterculture because we are taught that for you to be successful, you got to grind it out. You got to work it out. You got to do this. You got to do that. And God is like, really, let go. Let go. And when you let go, then God steps in. And everything tends to unfold for you. But if you want to kick down the door, then you're going to have to maintain the door. So surrender is key. All right, you guys. Well, like I said, any messages, any questions that you guys may have, any other areas that you want me to tackle, because I probably will do a follow-up on Monday, just after folks have had some time to really let this past week sink in. I will be answering those. You can send me anything via instant messenger or on email if you're on the email list. And we will tackle that. And I may even pull some of you guys in for some live coaching on Monday. That would be so fun. And answer your questions and coach you through it live. But take care. Have an awesome weekend. Be healthy, be whole, be blessed.